And like I said, we're going to go up to 27 today, and we've got some practice problems on it. We're still thinking about exponential stuff in this unit. Because it's a graph, we're using Desmos. If it helps you, I wrote my list of keys up here that I would press. So I'd press E, I'd press Shift 6, and then X to get E to the X. And then you've got an arrow right to come back down and plus 4. These are the points I picked. You could have picked different points. Again, it doesn't matter, but your graph should look like mine. I also want to make sure that you draw in your asymptotes on your graphs. So if your graph has an asymptote, it should be drawn in. And if you need to like write yourself a reminder, like don't forget to draw in your asymptote, you could write yourself a little note. If you look at your graph from left to right, is it going to go touch everything left to right? Or is there a restriction? Yeah, it's going to touch everything. So your domain is all real numbers. But let's look at your range. Do I have any graph living down here?
No.
No.
Also, it's positive 4, right?
Yeah, it starts at 4, and then what does it do from 4?
It goes up.
It goes up. So my range is going to be y is greater than 4. Now, it can never be equal to 4 because it's never going to actually, like, touch or cross it, but greater than 4. So anything above it is fair game.
All right, bro. I had the right idea, bro.
Good.
I had the right idea. I
And,
just had the wrong
but you know
placement,
what, that's
bro.
what this should be for review, is that, like, stuff is coming back, right? Like, that's what review should be. Your asymptote is a horizontal line, so it should be in the form y equals. What do we know about these two numbers?
They're the same.
Yeah, these should always be a match, so they're both 4s. And again, you can write yourself that note, because this is not like a, ooh, look at this cool coincidence that just happened. That's how it should always be. So these should always be a match. So again, think about the notes you want to write yourself. You're going to start your exam next week on Monday. So we're going to review this week, the rest of this week. And then, like I said, we're going to start next week. So help next week you out and write as many notes as you can. You ready to flip?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. This one is a little bit different than the ones we did on Friday, if you remember back to Friday. And the reason is because of these two words. If you see the words continuously compounded, or they could be flipped, compounded continuously, we use this equation. Do you remember the PERT equation? Yeah. Okay. So that's the equation we're going to use.
We're using PERT?
Mm-hmm. P is your principal. E is our number friend E. R is the rate. And T is the amount of time. And usually our time is measured in years, but not always. Sometimes we can have stuff that's measured a little bit more quickly. All right, so what's my initial amount for this problem?
4,000.
4,000. So 4,000 goes in for P. Then I put in my number friend E, which the calculator knows what that is, so that's good news. I don't have to worry about that. Here's where we get a little tricky. My rate is 4.2%. So how can I turn 4.2?
Shift it over.
Yes, how many though?
2 times.
2 times. Yep. It's the little details that are really important here, right? So 0.42 times, how much time are we leaving this in your account?
14 years.
14 years. And a lot of retirement accounts are set up like this. I know even like Miss Littleton, ours through the state of Michigan, our retirement accounts are set up like this too. So this is a pretty typical equation to use, especially with retirement accounts. So let me go to my calculator. I'm going to type in my 4,000. Do you remember where the E button lives?
Below the LN.
Yes. So press second and then press LN and you should get an E. So again, if you want to write yourself that note, how did I get the E? I press second and then I pressed LN on my calculator. And all the calculators, whether it's scientific or graphing, they should all have that button. And I'm going to type in 0.042 times 14. And I get $7,201. And I'm good if you leave it at 53 cents or if you round it up to 54 cents. I feel like you could argue it either way, but remember we need 2 spots after the decimal. Also a friendly reminder, let's say you get this far and you can't remember how to type it in. At least having the equation down is going to give you some points. So when I make my rubric for how I'm going to grade the exam or any test, I always think through like what's going to earn you 1 point, what's going to earn you 2, and then like what's going to earn you all the points for that problem. So again, remember that if you come across something that looks tricky, do as much as you can because you're going to at least get some partial credit. Okay, these we're going to switch into exponential form. I feel like we did a little bit of this the other day too. So here's my 5. That's going to be my base. Do you remember where the 3 goes? So we're just rewriting it.
Oh.
Remember where the 3 goes? So it goes up here. Think about a true statement you could write in terms of the exponents that you have. So let me grab a couple highlighters. If you want to come borrow a highlighter, you can too. So this 5 is this 5 right here. The 3, it's always equal to the exponent when we write the logarithm. So the 3 is my exponent. And then whatever value is sitting here is what it should be equal to. I'm going to do the next one and then... So the log is gone now. So we're switching to what we call exponential form. This one we're going to switch back to logarithmic form.
So then you're going to turn it, you're going to put the log.
I'm going to go the other way. Yeah.
I got you. So it's going to be like log A.
Yes.
It's going to be like...
Well, it's going to go here.
Wait.
Follow. See if you can follow the last one. Same process.
64?
Yep.
Yeah.
Equals
2.
2. Perfect. Okay. So let's see if I can use the same colors again here. So there's my 8. The 8 should be yellow. The exponent was green. Does anybody want my highlighters? Like you think it would be helpful if you'd highlight yours? Nobody wants my highlighters? Yeah, we're good.
You get the ones that smell good.
Oh.
Yeah, the smelly one.
Yeah, I feel like that kind of started back when I was a kid in the 80s. The smelly markers.
You get us some?
No.
You
But-
get them next year for our senior year, so if you come in here, they come from you.
Yes.
Yes, good suggestions. All right, any questions on these before we do some practice problems?
You get some smelly markers?
Yes, thank you. Yes.